Раз, 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 раз. Чек, 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 чек. Вот так нормально. Угу. Занимайте свои стандартные места, согласно купленным билетам. Рада всех вас приветствовать на очередном мероприятии в Kongworking. У нас сегодня такая более уютная, спокойная обстановка, потому что сегодня мероприятие не предполагает большие обучающие презентации, но сегодня нас ждет всех интересная дискуссия на тему разниц корпоративных культур континентов. Мы решили не ограничиваться странами, решили вот пойти дальше и поговорить о корпоративных культурах континентов. У нас сегодня мероприятие непростое, оно у нас в коллаборации с IT-комьюнити Batumi. Николай, наверное, сам лучше расскажет про этих ребят. И мы хотим теперь делать ежемесячно с этими ребятами какие-то классные такие разговоры о важном, чтобы каждый мог высказаться, чтобы мы могли все познакомиться, и чтобы нам было комфортно собираться не только той большой тусовкой, которую мы делаем на IT-метапах, но и вот такими вот локальными кружочками, чтобы лучше узнать друг друга. Сегодня с нами еще будет наша Лиза. Кто с ней не знаком, это фаундер коворкинга. Она подойдет чуть позже, и она расскажет про корпоративную культуру европейских стран, потому что она родом из Германии, и у них, естественно, у нее большой опыт в HR в европейской культуре. С нами сегодня Кетеван. Она представитель техпарка Батуми, и она расскажет про корпоративную культуру с грузинскими особенностями и ответит на ваши вопросы. Наверняка они у вас у всех, конечно же, есть. Ну и Николай у нас сегодня основной спикер. Его доклад посвящен корпоративной культуре Америки. Да? Расскажешь немного?
Да, конечно. Мне лучше встать?
Тебе лучше включить микрофон. Можешь встать пока, да?
Окей. Да, мне тут как-то комфортнее. Всем привет, я Николай. Значит, я расскажу немножко про IT Batumi Значит, мы группа инициативных айтишников. Решили объединить все IT-направления в городе Батуми, потому что город прекрасный, город достаточно небольшой, и очень легко познакомиться со всеми, объединить всех по разным темам. Основная наша цель — это не какие-то технические направления, DevOps, Frontend. Это именно такие общечеловеческие направления, это темы ассимиляции, например, в новой стране, темы корпоративных культур, какие-то иные темы, которые объединят именно всех. И сейчас мы активно развиваем аккаунты во всех социальных сетях. Подписывайтесь на нас в Инстаграме, в LinkedIn, в Facebook. Следите за новостями. Мы хотим также аккумулировать все анонсы, все ивенты, не только Конго, но и всех иных мероприятий. Сделать обзоры компаний, которые приехали в Грузию, в Батуми. И много... Оп. Что там, половина меня?
Нас сегодня смотрят на стриме просто, и нам хотелось, чтобы он тоже был.
Хорошо. Стрим вы меня видите? Отлично. Значит, кто хочет присоединиться к IT-комьюнити, welcome. У кого есть какая-то идея, совместная съемка чего-то нового, посвященного IT, мы только рады будем сделать это совместно. Что, я могу начинать про... Значит, можно мы презентацию, пожалуйста? Окей. Раз.
Итак, как я говорил, зовут меня Николай. Прежде чем я начну презентацию, я хочу рассказать о себе, о своем опыте, откуда я его получил, и, конечно же, поделюсь им с вами. Сейчас я работаю Head of QA Automation в одной небольшой аутсорс-компании, работаю уже 1,5 года. До этого я 5,5 лет работал в другой компании, которая тесно работала с несколькими американскими компаниями. У меня есть опыт работы как с Tech Giants, таких как Siemens, стартапами, молодежными компаниями, канадскими командами, американскими. И весь этот опыт я сейчас хотел бы ужать в 20-30 минут и рассказать вам. Хотел бы начать с того, что поднимите, пожалуйста, руки, у кого уже есть такой опыт. Кто-нибудь?
Работа в Siemens?
Нет, с американцами, может быть, это аутсорс-компания, директ, контракт. О, я знаю этого парня. Окей. И среди нас есть special guest, Tom. Tom, are you okay if I speak Russian, or it's better for you to speak English?
Either way is okay for me. I'm going to understand more with English, but Russian's okay.
Okay, so I'll continue in Russian.
That's fine.
Итак. Так, кажется, у нас... Okay, so if you don't mind, I'll continue in English to be understandable by everyone in this co-working space. I would like to describe the American corporate culture by just 3 words: trust, responsibility, and freedom. The company you are going to work with will give you freedom and trust. You will never meet a strict, let's say, work schedule. You have to come to 9 a.m. and finish your work at 6 p.m. Your lunch limit is kind of 1 hour. Everything will be pretty free and pretty smooth. And along with that, the company will give you a freedom. The trust, because the company interviewed you, the company trusts its choice, and the company trusts you as a specialist. For the company, you should give back your responsibility, your best skills, your velocity, your quality, your social skills. You should give your best to the company back. This is how it works usually. And I also want to say that I want to give an advice related not for Americans only, but all the countries around the world. The more you look like your teammates, the better your doings are. Notice how people behave, what phrases, expressions people use on stand-ups, how people report, and try to be similar. It will better involve you into the process, into the team, and make you kind of closer to the team, especially if you are new in the corporate culture. Okay, let's start. Imagine that you started working on an American company. You can be just an outsourced contractor, a direct contractor, or an employee there, and you need to introduce yourself. First of all, don't forget to put a smile on your face, smile widely, be positive, like Tom. And don't be shy to introduce yourself. Tell about your hobby, your family, your preferences. Maybe you restore an old car, or you do hiking, surfing, something like that. People like that. People are open for that. Remember that you already got your credit of trust in the company, in the team, and you need just to confirm it. You don't need to advocate that you are a good guy. The company already trusts you, and you need just to relax and be yourself. You will have small talks between meetings, before or after, or maybe in some other cases. I would like you to a bit concerned in terms of topic choosing. Try to avoid negative stuff, try to avoid problems description, and there are three base topics to discuss. If you tell about your family, how you spend time with your kids, with your wife, if you are a good family man, it will be accepted by the team very good. The food, it's very neutral topic as well. You can talk about your food preferences, restaurants, recipes. It's also a neutral subject. And number three, a hobby. People write that you are not a robot, that you are human with your own hobbies, your own life, and your own stuff which can be interesting for everyone. So if you get a question, how did you spend your weekend? The best answer for you will be, I spent the time with my family, we cooked a barbecue on the backyard, and we went hiking afterwards. This is the perfect answer, which will be absolutely acceptable for American culture. So don't forget to say more than just hi, bye, or thank you. Say hi, how are you, how was your weekend, how was your day, instead of just hi. Say thank you very much, I appreciate that, instead of just thank you, and say have a good one, have a good day, instead of just bye. Rule number 2. As I told you, will never need kind of strict rules, roadmaps, especially since the beginning, but they exist. Companies have their own experience, some cases resolving, etc. So if during the work you have a question how to deal with something, how to behave in some cases, ask your manager or HR. You'll get your help. People like to help. People like to resolve things, especially if you are honest. Be honest everywhere, in every cases. Of course, do it very accurately and neatly, but honesty is your basis. The edge case, which is very important, I faced it myself, my friends faced it as well. If you, let's say, drop the production database, say about it to everyone. Say that it was you, it's your fault. Say it publicly. If you are honest with everyone, you can also explain it. For example, my kids were crying all the night, they are sick, I get a lack of sleep, that's why I missed something in my head, that's why I dropped the production database instead of QA. You will be understood. The company forgive it, and probably you will get more than just a second chance. You can drop the database twice before you're laying off. Because if you hide it, if you hide your fault, somebody will find that it was you, and you will have a problems with the trust in your company. Remember that it's an edge case, but which is very important. Rule number 3, related to daily meetings and getting your feedback, because in some time you will be invited to a one-on-one call with your manager, and they will give you some feedback about your work, about how to improve it. So first of all, it is my own case. I'll explain what I did. You will never hear that you have to do something by the evening. You must do something. You will hear something like, it would be great if this task to be done by the end of the day, or this work to be done by the end of the week. We would be happy, we would appreciate if you do this, something like that. It will kind of a wish, but it's a mandatory. You should catch this signal, and you should tell something like, you should understand it as a task, with a deadline, and you should do it by some due date. I had a case when I was working on building a team, an outsourced team who worked with Americans. In the evening, I got a task. It would be great if you guys do this task by the end of your day, by our morning. In the morning, I had a meeting with the team and said in Russian language that, hey guys, it would be great if you do that. And by the evening, I found that the task is not done. I asked why. Because you just wished something. It's kind of your desire, not a mandatory, not a task, not a command. And I took a marker, a whiteboard, and wrote, it would be great equals you have to. I would be happy, you have to. You have to. The asteroid is coming to the Earth and we need to send Bruce Willis to break it. Something like that, because if in case if you hear something like, you have to, guys, you have to, that means something serious is really happening and you be very attentive for that. It is very important and you can be laid off if you don't do that. Remember that. So I talked about one-on-one. Everyone face it during this work because no one is an ideal engineer. So we can improve ourselves infinitely. So imagine that your manager calls you to one-on-one call to give some feedback about your work. First of all, your boss will give you a lot of good things, such as you are a great engineer, you do your work well, I like your task, etc. But, so never mind everything before but. Be focused on everything what will be said afterwards, because this is the most focus, the most concern of your boss about your work. Remember everything what will be said afterwards and keep it in mind and improve yourself in that area. Probably you may get back to your boss in some time yourself, follow up this information and say that now I started focusing on that, and actually management likes that when you don't forget about wishes, recommendations, and follow them up. About issues, discussions, etc. Don't blame other people, don't blame other teams if something goes wrong. Please tell it as a recommendation. For example, if you don't get enough information from another department, it's better to say it kind of, it would be great if you get more information from devs. Don't blame, just say it as a recommendation, as a wish, how to make it better. Don't say something like how bad it is. And don't forget to appreciate somebody publicly. Let's say somebody helped you to accomplish a task. Next morning on the daily stand-up, appreciate them publicly and say that this guy helped me to accomplish this task. Thank you for your assistance. Thank you for being with us. So next time you will be appreciated, or this guy will help you more than they did it before. And last item in this set of rules, your value on the meetings. If you keep silence during meetings, especially you are called to some issue resolving or retro, something like that, and you just keep silence, you don't share your mind, in some time somebody will notice that. And your manager will come to you and give you your feedback. Something like you do great work, but it would be great if you share your opinions more. So you have to prepare to all the meetings, find your own thoughts about an issue which you guys are going to resolve, and you have to share it on meetings, on retros, because it means that you are available for the team. You have your own opinion, you have your own thoughts. Don't forget about it. Okay, next slide. This is a set of kind of various rules. It's not related by some common agenda. I just briefly walk through them all. First of all, be self-motivated. The company hired you, it trusts you, and you should bring your motivation, your best skills to the company back. Number two, simple clothes. Don't wear something like I'm the best man in the world, because it looks very silly, very weird. It looks like "Я красавчик." I think everyone remembers what it was. Nobody wears t-shirts with Russian letters. Everyone prefers something in English. But imagine Americans. For them, it is just Russian words, and it looks pretty silly. It's better to use to wear some cozy style, one-color t-shirts, one-color sweaters, or company logo. That's okay, but don't wear something with a lot of prints. People pay attention on that as well. It's a minor thing, but it can be important as well. Work and life balance. It sounds interesting, but you should live your life. And you should forget about your work during your vacation, your days off, your weekend, your holidays. Company and people like that you have a work and life balance. And if you say that I worked on the company without any days off during the months, I am a very good guy. No, you will never be a good guy, because it will look kind of weird. Because it's kind of a sin for your teammates to disturb you on your day off. If they do something, if they disturb you, they will 100% apologize before they ask something from you on your day off. And keep the distance. Not like in the COVID situation, I mean in terms of topics, in terms of themes you want to discuss with people. It's better to discuss only some positive things, natural stuff. Don't share your problems a lot, because it will also doesn't make things better for you. The things I described before are related only for you as an engineer. The worst thing can happen if you do something wrong is you can be just laid off due to some cultural fit or performance or misunderstanding. The next slide will be very important, because it may have worse effect. Don't discuss or do the following things. Never gossip about your teammates, about your managers, because you have a lot of meetings to share your opinion publicly, politely, and everyone will hear that. Number two, never do a harassment. You can be judged and laid off immediately. And about Black Lives Matter and LGBT community, it is very wide in America, and if you are okay with that, if you support that, it's okay. The most of companies support these communities as well for many reasons. One of them is kind of market thing, and in case if you have any problems with that, just keep silence and stay away. The company will give you the right to just don't participate in everything related to these stuff. Just remember that. Why I'm so focused about this slide? Because if you cross the line, it may affect not only you. If you are just alone, you can be judged. If you work in an outsourced company, all the team can be affected. The American company can just end the contract due to, for example, the motivation is your company cultural fit doesn't fit us, and your teammates with their families, kids will be laid off. So remember about that. It's a very important thing. And this is the last slide, and let's finish this presentation on some positive wave. My opinion, American culture is the best. Having this, just following this small set of rules, you'll have a good environment. Everything will be pretty positive, even issues. People will help you to resolve some technical issues, because all the people are focused not on their own. The people are focused on kind of the common community, how company does their things. And everyone is motivated to accomplish the work in terms of a common process. It's a good environment, it's a good vibe. You always feel kind of a lot of positive when you come to the company or on a virtual meeting. Number 2, trust is a basis. Your corporate relationships are based on trust. People trust you, you trust people, and it's really good, actually. Number 3, work and life balance. Live your life when you are not at work, and company appreciates that. And the last thing, my favorite, working with a US company, you meet a lot of people from a lot of countries, a lot of cultures, and you will find that it's amazing to work together, to bring all the cultures together and do great things together. You understand that all the people are great, all the people are amazing, a lot of people, maybe your friends, you will understand each other better, and this is awesome. This is why I like it so much. That's pretty much it from my end. This is my contacts, and also please don't forget to subscribe our social media. Any questions? Any comments?
Thanks, Nikolai. It was interesting, and I hope that was useful. I guess we might listen all the speeches, and then we will open the discussion about all the... Do you want to ask it now or after all speeches? Because we have a discussion about all the cultures, and if you want to ask if exactly... Okay.
Thank you for presentation. I have one tiny question. It's a common presentation about culture, but I really curious about last changes. All we survived COVID, all in this room. All we survived surviving war right now. So maybe something new in corporate culture in America is happening.
Well,
changes. I mean. Thank you.
I walked through the COVID as well with Americans, so the events, the stuff became more virtual. Maybe, so mostly it's responsibility of HRs. Usually people, to make our life more fun, people like to create traditions. For example, after DSUs, by counting, people claps, kind of 3, 2, 1, somebody counts, and the rest of the people just virtually claps. clap. It's interesting, it makes our life more funny, I would say. So yeah, virtual games, virtual advertising, but if you are on an outsource, almost nothing changes for you. Regarding to the war, I didn't lose any of my contacts from my previous work because people mostly see who you are. I told you about credit of trust. Actually, I want to say that in Georgia, currently, in these conditions, something similar is happening. We all are from various countries, and first of all, we give a credit of trust to each other and understand if somebody is good or not good. And your passport is kind of secondary or party thing. This is how it works in the US, and this is how it happens now, as I found in Georgia, in Batumi. So I don't think something changed in terms of people relationships.
Okay, nothing extra. So we have another speaker, and I want to show you our Lisa Wolf. It's our co-founder of our Kongworking space. She's here to tell you about the Georgian corporate culture, and she has some another opinion than Николай. Лиза хочет представить свой доклад на русском, поэтому
я сама все расскажу.
Да,
Подключи меня, пожалуйста.
можешь говорить в микрофон, и ничего страшного.
Отлично. Всем привет. Hello everyone, my name is Lisa. I will introduce myself in English, and after it I will try to mix both languages, English and Russian, so I hope everyone can understand my presentation and learn something about Germany. I was born in Russia, but I moved to Germany as a small child, so I visited the school, my university, my first work experiences, and everything in Germany, since we moved to Georgia in 2017 and started our business here. But today I would like to introduce you to German work culture. Я не знаю, все понимают английский? Как у вас вообще? Или мне лучше на русском попробовать? Не стесняйтесь. Я могу и так, и так. Английский для всех подходит? Okay, everyone can speak English, so I will try to make my presentations only in English. So, yeah, the work culture in Germany, as everyone knows, German quality is a sign. So Germans are working very, very hard, and that's why the meaning behind the colors of the German flag is work, 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 humor. Yeah. I will show you the Instagram expectation of Germany. Every German is drinking much beer and is having a lot of fun. And yeah, this is the reality. So I will try to tell you something about the business etiquette, about the job application, because I think it's very interesting for the most of people, because Germany is very strict in this field, about the working conditions and taxes. Yeah, the business etiquette is a very, very, very important field in Germany, because yeah, we are always shaking hands, for example. It's not common in Russia, as I know. I'm not sure about the USA, but in Germany you have to shake hands if you are greeting somebody or saying goodbye. So it's necessary in the business culture to do it and to have eye contact. It's very polite. And of course, punctuality is not a secret. Germans are very strict in this thing, because everyone has a really strict plan for a week or month, and you can't visit your friend without an appointment. It's true in Germany, and you have to plan every small meeting, every detail. That's why punctuality is essential, because if you are late, you are destroying the plan of somebody else's week. Yeah, hierarchy is also a very strict field, because in the business world in Germany you have, for example, to shake hands first to the main manager, and after it to the others. So hierarchy, I don't know this word. Hierarchy is very important in Germany, and you have to pay attention to it in the business world. And of course, productivity. Germans are working maybe not so much as in other Asian countries, for example, or in other parts of the world, but they're very productive. So it's essential to work really hard in the time of your working day. Yeah. I wanted to show you how you have to apply for a job. And we do not have fun in Germany. We have to go back to work. So, yeah, only in joke, of course. As you remember, humor is also a very, very, very big, important thing in Germany. Yeah, we have standard rules for every job application. You have to have a lot of documents with you. As I know, in Russia, for example, or Georgia, it's not common to have this big application for every job appliance. But you have to write a big motivation letter in Germany. You have to have a CV. It should be structured, and it should be rather be with a photo, because it's not necessary, but if you have a photo on your CV, the human resources manager will be much friendlier to you, because it's something you should do to introduce yourself with your letter. And you have to send all your certificates, starting from your school education. It's very necessary to have every certificate from your CV. So you started at school, after it you made an internship, after it you made a university degree, the first work experiences, and you have to share every certificate, document, diploma, and so on with your future company. And it's also necessary to send your recommendation letters. So every company is writing a recommendation letter after you are quitting your job, and we have a special language for these recommendation letters. So, for example, if you're writing as human resources manager, this employee was very social and friendly, it means in real world he was always talking around, he was just chatting and not working. Yeah, it's really very, very interesting, and you have to speak with special language to understand this recommendation. But every manager in a company is speaking it, so everyone understands. Yeah, the working conditions are very nice in Germany at the first sight. Yeah, they have a maximum of 48 hours per week, usually 40 weeks. It's the usual standard contract to have 40 hours per week from Monday to Friday, but some employees are working a little bit more from Monday to Saturday. For example, in shops. On Sundays everything is closed. Only restaurants or bars are open in Germany, but nobody is working on Sunday. The minimum wage, so the minimum income per hour is 12 euros. You have not to be afraid if you are ill or if you have some health issues, because you will get your income also during this period. The minimum holidays are 24 days per year. And yeah, we have something really interesting in Germany. You have a parental allowance. So if you're becoming a baby as a pair, women and men are allowed to have some time to up to 28 months to care for the baby. And the very interesting part, you can share this time, so both parents can share this 28 months, and they can use them until the child is 8 years old. Yeah. Yeah, protection from discrimination. That's why it's also possible for men to take this parental time. Discrimination is, since the World War II, very, very, very big topic in Germany. It's not allowed to discriminate nobody. So everyone is welcome. Everyone deserves the best, and all are equal. Dismissal protection is also a big field. You can ask me later about everything, but it's not easy to dismiss or to quit some employees if they are working longer than the trial period. It's very difficult to quit your contract. They have a really good protection and laws in Germany. And the biggest part are taxes, because we have really a lot of different taxes in Germany. But I will talk only about the income taxes today. I think it's the most interesting part. Yeah, first of all, we have only six tax classes. It's a very difficult system, and not every person in Germany understands it, but we have really different classes. And for example, if you are single or separated, if you are single and have a child, if you are living in a partnership and have a child, if you are married but your partner is incoming more than you, you can decide if you would get different tax classes. So it's a really, really big and difficult law in Germany, and we have a lot of tax managers, tax specialists in Germany, and we're always trying to help all the people to understand it, what is the best part to save some taxes. Because, for example, if you are earning 4,745 euros, you will get only 2,848 euros cash, and the rest will be paid to the income tax institute, solidarity, I will tell more about it now, insurances, and so on. So we have really big taxes in Germany, and it's not easy to earn a lot of money, because if you are earning more and more, you can become in this category of taxes with up to 45% of your income monthly. It's very much, I think. So we had solidarity taxes. It's also very funny, because after the World War II, Germany had different parts and regions, and some regions were more destroyed than in others, and to reconstruct these parts of Germany, they made solidarity taxes for the better parts. But we paid these taxes until 2021, although the reconstruction works were already done before. Yeah, and Germany has Christchurch taxes with 9%. It's very interesting, I think, because if you are Catholic, for example, and you are registered in a church, you have to pay taxes. So a lot of people are canceling the contract with the church. It's a big field and don't want to go to church anymore because they don't want to pay so many taxes to the church. Medical insurance, pension insurance, care insurance, and unemployment insurances are taxes which will be paid from employers and the company. So they are sharing these taxes, but it's enough, although I think. So if you don't want to pay taxes, please don't work. Or you can earn up to 500 euros, I think. It's the name of it is a mini job. If you are working only a few hours per week, for example, and earning not more, you don't have to pay taxes. But this is also a good idea. And how to be German? It's very easy. I wanted to share this picture with you because we have really a lot of funny and weird cultural differences to a lot of other countries in the world. And German quality is really good, but I'm not sure about the happiness and work-life balance. Nikolai talked a lot about it. You don't have to smile all the time in Germany. You don't have to be very social. Please do not be very open-minded to every chatting and so on. Working is the most important task in the business world. And of course, it's only a joke, but we have to be productive. And thank you very much for your attention. It was not much, but if you have some questions, you can ask me anytime about everything.
Check.
I hope I will be able to answer it and get back to work.
Lisa, thank you for your sense of humor and for this scary part with taxes too, and for your suggestion to doesn't work. It's good. So, and we have another speech from the Georgian culture. It's most interesting and native part of it here in Batumi. So, Ketevan Buliskeria with us today. She's present at Tech Park Batumi, and she told us about an experience in Georgia country, so with this corporate culture. So it's your word.
Hello everyone, I am Ketevan Buliskeria. I'm from Georgia. Do we have any Georgian here? No? Okay, we are two here, but you are welcome to our country. We really love guests, as you know, hope already. And I really like your presentation, Lisa. Thank you for it, because you mentioned in German, you don't have to smile all the time, but you can smile in Georgia anytime because we love this process. Do we have any? Sorry for my English. It's not perfect, but I will try to speak to understand. And let me speak about my organization, and also have some comment about the field, about the topic what we have today, because I'm not specialist of this field. I'm just will share my experience. I don't have any presentation, and it's not comfortable after very good two presentations, but anyway, let me share some experience and let me use some, I would say, interaction, and I will be open to your questions to answer any questions what you have connected with the Georgian people or Georgian culture, etc., and tradition, etc. First of all, I'm from Georgian Innovation and Technology Agency. This is the public organization which is under of Ministry of Economy and Sustainable Development. And I know you are most of you on this room are from IT and some this kind of sectors, and I'm really sure you are really connected with this organization and you have to have some information about it. And let me share it. Georgian Innovation and Technology Agency have some short name also, and this is the JITA. Did you hear about this organization before? No. Okay. This organization is working in three main directions. First of all, we are providing modern infrastructure. And we have already in Georgia 9 tech parks in different parts and different regions of the Georgia. But main office is in Tbilisi. And you can visit it anytime, because also we have their co-working space for startups. And the main reason of creating our organization is to support startups and to support the startup ecosystem in Georgia. We are working around 7 years already in Georgia, but in Batumi we are working only 2 years. And trust me, startup, even this word is really very new for Batumi, but we already did a really good job, and we hope we are doing good and nice job to develop startup ecosystem also for Ajara. I mentioned 3 directions, and first we are providing modern infrastructure, and we have in tech parks co-working spaces, and it's free for startups who is working in Georgia and any person also. We have Fab Lab. I don't know in English also is this terminology or not, but this is a small laboratory to help making prototyping your ideas. Like this is the American model. Maybe you know about this, but first Fab Lab is created in Massachusetts University, and we have the like a same concept. We have 3D printer, 3D laser, CNC router, and this kind of machineries, and we are helping to each person who have new idea or innovative idea to create their ideas prototype. Second, what we are providing to people is the trainings. This is under of educational part. We have too many trainings for Georgian people, not in English, but in Georgian. Under this component, we have trainings in programming, in 3D modeling, and how to use our machineries, and how to do prototyping, and etc. Under this component also, we are doing too many projects. For example, I had conversation with Sweta. We are organizing too many hackathons in Georgia, because we are the main organization in Georgia who has experience in this field. And also in this year in Batumi we will have 3 international hackathon, and we will share this information with you also, because for us it's really very important to involve you also in our events, in our projects, if you want to, of course. And the third component what we are doing is the grants, what we are giving to startups. We are financing the startups. We have 3 types of the grant. This is step-by-step grants for prototyping, entering the market, and after already the biggest grant, which is helping to go on Silicon Valley and get already huge amount of the investment for your startup. We have already too many startups in Georgia, which is very successful, and we are calling the successful startups which is on the global markets, and we are helping to each person who is interested in this field. We are trying to, help people to start study IT, because in Georgia we don't have too many staff in this field, and this is the main work to what is connected in the JITA, to JITA. I will tell the JITA, this is my organization short name, just for information. If you are interested about it, Sweta have my contact, and she can share with you, and I can answer anytime your questions. Maybe one of the main question what will be in this audience will be, can you use also, because you are not, for example, the citizens of the Georgia, about our grants? Yes, you can use it also, but in our organization, grants can get only these startups which have innovative ideas. Innovative ideas, we are calling the ideas which is some elements of the new, or some maybe which are solving some challenges in different industries. It doesn't matter, it will be from the maritime industry or from agriculture, or etc. And you can use these grants also, and you can participate on competitions. Just for information, the competition is organized by World Bank, and also the people who are judging, for example, the startups, these are from Silicon Valley also, and this is really very good experience also to participate on our grant competitions, because we have too many trainings under this grants, and you will be more ready to go on Silicon Valley, for example, and get some investment for development your startup ideas. This is shortly about our organization. I forgot to mention about me a little bit, because as I heard in presentation, it's some kind of culture to speak about little bit about yourself also. As I told you, I'm Katie, and it's short version of my name because it's more easy to you, I hope. I moved to Batumi 2 years ago. Before I lived in Tbilisi. Now I'm working in public sector, but I have around 12 years of experience to working in private, public, and NGO sectors also. And I know a little bit about the corporate culture of Georgia, but I'm not specialist, as I told you already, but I will try to share my experience. In Georgia, we really love the guests. I hope you feel it in Georgia. We really love friendly people. And what you explained in this presentation, yes, we have a part from your presentation from American model, but I think we have more like from the German model, I think. It's reality, in Georgia don't have, I would say, I will try to get some words from punctuality, like Germans, but we are trying to be more punctuality in Georgia, but don't have this kind of culture like a German. You mentioned that everyone think in Germany people think Germany is drinking too many beer. I hope I think you are thinking Georgian are drinking too many wine, but it's not like this. We really love wine, but we are drinking it too much. Also, what can I say from my experience? You can speak about yourself in Georgian companies and in Georgian society because, how to say, in Georgia it's really common to be friend of your coworker. I would say we are really very close with the working people to each other, with families also, because from presentation I also heard we can speak about it's common and it's nice when you are speaking about your family. In Georgia it's really very common. Everyone we know about our families, about our family situations. It's really common in Georgia. Also, before a few years ago, I think like this, in Georgia was, how to say, good worker was the person who was all the time at work. For example, when a person who is ending the work not at 7 p.m. like in common in Georgia, but on 10, for example. But nowadays we already understand it's not nice. It doesn't mean it's good, because we understand if you have the working hours and you should do your work in working hours, and it's time always is enough for your work, what you get from, for example, from your manager and like this. We changed already this, and it's already, we passed this exam like this. Let me be open to your questions more, because I'm more interested about your ideas, about your questions. What kind of differences did you find in Georgia, for example, about the organizational culture? Because I hope it's some uncomfortable or some differences what you have in Georgia. Maybe I can help you to solve some kind of problems. Do we have any questions?
I think we have any questions. But firstly, we want to just to open the discussion and ask anybody, maybe somebody wants to share their experience to... Firstly, thanks, Ketvan, of course. So our three speakers are in the scene, and if anybody wants to share their experience with the work with another continents, maybe Asia, maybe something of this, you want.
Actually, I'm sorry, I'm new in IT, so I'm not ready to share my experience, but I have a question.
Тогда все-таки давай сначала, все-таки, если кто-то есть из других континентов, кто хочет поделиться, то тогда у нас будет больше объема
I'm afraid
информации.
I can forget my question. I'm afraid I can forget my question.
Если что, я запишу и тебе
Okay.
потом напомню.
Но все-таки это будет логичнее сначала услышать весь объем информации, а потом поделиться и позадавать вопросы. У тебя обязательно будет шанс. Я поняла, что сегодня твой звездный час. Да, в общем, если кто-то еще хотел что-то добавить, может быть, к докладу Николая, может быть, у кого-то есть опыт касаемо работы с европейским сектором, или кто-то все-таки уже соприкоснулся с Грузией и что-то хочет нам добавить, то мы с удовольствием ждем. А если нет, то давайте как раз переходить к вопросам. Если у вас к спикерам есть какие-то... Давайте с тебя и начнем. Все, и судя по всему, как раз... Том?
Here, there?
something to American culture.
No, I do not. His thing on American culture is perfect, but I worked in Latin America, if you want to hear about Latin America.
So,
Yes?
if you want to share something.
Okay. So in Latin America, which is significantly different from North America, a couple of the key things about Latin America is they're very, very warm Latin cultures, and so the work environments there tend to be very friendly, very caring. I mean, you really need to care about your coworkers. So that's a big part of it. Family is probably, It is at least as important as all these other cultures, if not more. And as far as work ethic goes, it's moderate. So they don't work, you know, they have a good work ethic, but they're not going to work as hard as the Germans. As far as punctuality goes, no. There is no punctuality. As a matter of fact, I ran a team that worked in a Mexican office, and we worked throughout Latin America. And when we had a meeting, I would stand at the door, and when someone who was supposed to be in the meeting would come by and look in the door, I would grab them and pull them in, because they were waiting to see if everyone else was there before they would come in. So meetings could start a half an hour late. So those are just a couple of things about Latin America.
Thank you so much. Да, спасибо. Может быть, еще кто-то? Somebody else?
I think Slava can say something about Canada.
I actually haven't really worked in Canada, so to speak, because I ran my own company always. So, but I obviously interacted with people who worked. And in Canada, there's 2 official languages. Actually, if you look at Canada, like there's 2 Canadas. There's Quebec, which is the Francophone province, and then there's everything else. And then if you look at Quebec, there's like Montreal, which is where I lived, and the rest of the province. And like it's very different. Like Quebec is very different from the rest of Canada, Montreal is different from the rest of Quebec. And then in Montreal, there's like, Western Montreal and Eastern Montreal, but basically they're divided by one street, which is called Boulevard Saint-Laurent. And east of Boulevard Saint-Laurent, everything is in French, and west is kind of like mixed. So obviously, I mostly lived in the western part. And so this tension between like 2 languages is kind of persists in Quebec. In the rest of Canada, nobody cares because, officially it's a bilingual country, but, unofficially everybody speaks English, and that's it. I think Canadian corporate culture, as far as I know, is less stringently, how do I put it? It's the metaphor, if like in America, everybody talks about like a melting pot, everybody's sort of like supposed to be in the same mold, like kind of like similar. I know it's not the case. I know America's like very regional. But in Canada, it's like pronounced differences, like they're specifically encouraging differences, and there's like a whole metaphor of being cultural mosaic is the expression that they use. So like a huge like percentage of Canadians are immigrants, such as myself, and so it's more acceptable to be different, at work, I think. I mean, again, like with a little asterisk about my experience. But in Quebec, there's a big difference between small companies and big companies, because starting from 50 employees, the official language has to be French. It doesn't matter who you're hiring. You can hire all Russians, so you have to speak French, which is actually kind of funny, because like sometimes people are kind of like, you have to speak French, and all the documents kind of like in French, circulating in French. But startups usually, never come to like that point of like 50 people, so they can just do whatever they want. And the same for small businesses. And they keep like talking about like lowering that threshold to like 10 people. But so it's a very I highly recommend. Like Canada has a unique startup culture. It's not as known as Silicon Valley, obviously, but it's again, owing to this kind of like mixed culture setup. Like for example, Quebec has its own program that encourages startups, and of course, because they're French speaking, they're also doing kind of like the French way, which means that the state pays startups to subsidize some of the salaries of developers. So if any of you actually launch like a successful startups, you might want to consider Montreal as your seat, because Quebec government will actually compensate some of the like expenses that you spend on development in that area, like for local employees. So I don't know. Is that a good addition to your mix? That's all I got.
Thank you.
If somebody else wants to share their experience too, you can. No? So let's start the Q&A section. let's start this. Let's open the question.
Thank you. I didn't forget my question, actually, but I write it down. As you all know, many countries has special programs to attract people from IT. So maybe ChatGPT will change it, but still. Maybe you know about any special programs in Georgia for people from IT to attract them to be part of culture, to get maybe a citizen of some Georgian cities, and etc. On social level and on a government level.
As I understand the question, what kind of programs do we have? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, before we didn't have this kind of, how to say, approach to make international programs for developers or IT persons, but nowadays, as we understand, there is too many intellectual resources, which is really useful and very good for Georgia, like from your side, for example. Yes, nowadays Georgian government and for example my organization also are thinking how we can involve you in our projects, because it's little bit difficult because of the language barrier, for example, and this kind of technical problems what we have, we are trying to solve. And as I told you, what we can already announce, this is the 3 international hackathon, what is really important for us, because this will be in cryptocurrency field, will be in maritime industry, where we really need, how to say, international experience of the developers, because we have huge challenges in this sector, and we really need to involve you in these programs. But it's not, how to say, only hackathons. We are planning too many programs, and me and Sveta already have too many, how to say, ideas how we can do together any programs. And during the year, time to time, we will provide to you the information, because nowadays I can announce only the hackathon part, but not more. Did I answer on your question, or maybe you can give me more? Maybe I didn't understand clear your question, and because of this.
No, one part of my question you answered absolutely. You faced my expectation, thank you. But the another part was, many countries has digital nomad visas, and etc. On the government level, does Georgia have something like that to attract people from IT?
Taxes maybe.
Sorry?
You could mention lower taxes maybe.
Yes, this was my idea how to answer on this question. Just to create comfortable infrastructure for IT companies, we reduce the taxes for IT companies. It's already more than 2 years. Our organization was initiator of this idea, and we did it already. And too many international IT companies moved their offices in Georgia. But I don't have exactly the statistic, but I know there is really huge companies which is moved after this tax reduce part. And this is what can I answer on your question. There is only this part of the comfortable infrastructure and situation in Georgia, but there is no like a for people. There is, I know you, yes, for business, but not for the persons. But I think government already are thinking about some, how to say, issues, but I don't have exact answer on it. What kind of, for example, benefits, or what kind of interesting issues you can get from Georgia in this field. I really don't know about it. But if I will have any information, also by Sveta, I
You will
will
tell
share
us.
it.
Мы узнаем об этом первыми.
Да, обязательно.
Кстати, касаемо нашего партнерства с JITA, я хотела бы добавить буквально пару слов. Вот на нашем экране сейчас появился такой QR-код. Мы на данный момент находимся на этапе сбора заявок, вообще запросов от стартапов. Если у вас есть какая-то идея или, может быть, уже стартап на какой-либо стадии, обязательно заполните эту заявку, потому что мы в переговорах бесконечных с JITA о том, как можно применить тот опыт, который привезли экспаты в Грузию, и это одна из самых интересных частей, что на самом деле Грузия может и хочет каким-то образом помочь и встроить их в свою экосистему, и мы просто хотим помочь и стать таким коннектором, потому что мы, как вы помните, мы уже комьюнити, а если мы еще будем помогать вам в реальной жизни, чтобы ваши проекты реализовались, я думаю, это будет самым главным подарком и призом для нас.
Реально наша организация существует для того, чтобы мы... можно, да?
Я думаю...
Наша организация существует для того, чтобы помочь стартапам и даже помочь людям, которые хотят создать стартап. Поэтому, если у вас есть какая-то идея в голове на этом этапе, мы очень сильно хотим помочь. Вы знаете, наверное, что в Грузии идет несколько International Acceleration Programs. Я не знаю, как это, наверное, на русском то же самое, но реально мы в этих процессах тоже работаем и помогаем и международным стартапам, и грузинским стартапам как бы реализовать свои идеи в Грузии. JITA предлагает как бы full сервис для этого. Если у вас будут какие-то вопросы после нашего как бы митинга, тоже можете прийти. Наш техпарк на стрит Леониде 15, если что. У нас есть Facebook-пейдж техпарк Batumi. Можете найти и написать, или, не знаю, если будут какие-то вопросы. Anytime.
Спасибо большое. Давайте вернемся к главной теме нашей дискуссии. Есть ли еще вопросы к спикерам касаемо корпоративных культур континентов, о которых было рассказано? Кто-то еще хочет выступить?
Okay, I have one notice to Lisa. I want an ice beer after your presentation. And now I hire one Polish team and have a little study Central Europe companies, and I faced one new term for me. It's emotional disconnect. Why is it so important for Central Europe companies and people? In Russia, we don't need any emotion for work.
Yeah, I mentioned it also already. As we moved to Georgia, we met a lot of Russians here, and it was really weird to me to mention these cultural differences, because in Russia a lot of people are paying much attention to time, as well as in Germany, but in a different way. It's very important in Germany to use the rules of polite business. I would name it like this. So you have to introduce yourself, you have to shake hands, it's necessary. You have to say goodbye before you are cutting off the call, for example. And as I mentioned, in Russia it's not as much necessary as in Germany. So both cultures are a little very less emotional than Latin America, for example, or Georgia. So both cultures are similar in this strict cold temperature, but yeah, I'm not sure about Poland. because I never worked there, but in Germany we have really strict rules how you have to start your talk and how you have to end your talk, what is a good topic to talk about and which is not allowed to talk about, and also how to write emails. You have a standard form to write emails really to everyone. You have a standard form to write letters. You have standards for almost everything in Germany, and I think in Poland as well, because it's also a similar way of doing business there. So yeah, you have to learn these rules to talk in the same language, I think. Do you have more concrete question about it, or я не знаю на английском более конкретно, я, может, не поняла вопрос.
Так важно, да, если на русском, почему для Европы так важно держать эмоциональный контакт? No, emotional disconnect, emotional disattachment, it's a term. It's a problem. Why? I don't understand this.
Эмоциональный контакт, ты имеешь в виду?
В работе.
Но я смогла ответить на твой вопрос. Это то, что ты имел в виду, или это мимо?
I understood that just culture fit difference, that's all.
I think it's not necessary in Germany to feel the emotions and to feel the emotional connection to each other. It's not necessary. It's not common to have this kind of emotions at work, but it's necessary to use all the standards. They have communication standards in writing, in talking, in everything. And these standards are standard. So you have to use these rules if you would like to have a good working surrounding.
Were you asking about Germany?
About Europe. Europe is very different, so you can't compare Germany and Italy, for example. But Poland is similar to Germany in the way of business, I think. So the Polish people are also very strict with rules, as I know. But I'm from Germany, I'm German, not Polish, so I'm sorry if it's...
Is it close enough, yeah.
And one thing I wanted to add too, so today the guys from IT Batumi have a prizes for much activity guys who have questions and who wants to share their experience with us. So anybody else want to tell us the story?
No, I wanted to ask a question, can I? I wanted to ask if it's common in Germany to have a flexible schedule. For example, as for me, I tend to be available to work sometimes at 9, sometimes at 11, and so on.
It was a very, very, very big theme for IT specialists, especially before Corona, because the most of IT specialists I know, and I know a lot, are working also at every time of the day and do not like the strict working hours. It depends on in which kind of company you are working. If it's a big corporation, it's not possible to have a lot of flexibility because you have meetings, you have calls, you have appointments with customers, for example, and you have to be there at this time. And it's also very strict regulated in the law, in the working hours. So it's not okay if you are working more for example. It's not okay for the company. So you have to be in the company in the time you need it. But after the coronavirus, a lot of companies made home office. And when it became more possible to part your working time. So, for example, if you are coding and do not have any meetings or something else, you can make it at another time. But if you have meetings, you have to be there. So, punctual, on time. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, but Katie will leave us soon. So if you have maybe last question for Katie, it is your chance now.
So how does one submit a proposal about a startup? Okay. How is it possible to send your presentation to Gita? Or?
For startups, we have calls like Grant. Grants Go G, this is our platform where you can see our announcements for the grants. I think in 2 months we will have the second part of our grant. I will share this information also. And you are applying by application on our platform. It should be in English and in Georgian also. But your pitch on presentation with how to say, judgment, you will have in English, but the text should be in Georgian also. We have, as I told you, 3 types of grant. 15,000 lari for prototyping. We are calling it like this. This is announcing each month, 12 times in year. But the second grant, 150,000 lari. This is 2 times during the year, and we are announcing 2 times. And I would say you are applying during 1 month, and you will get the answer and feedback during 20 days. Around 50 participants are, how to say, are in short list on the second step, and they have chance to have 2 weeks trainings with the trainers from Silicon Valley also. How to make the pitch, how to prepare the presentation, how to develop your startup idea in this kind of, how to say, topics. And after these 50 startups have final pitches with different persons, and in the same day after the speeches you will get the answer, and we have like a big ceremony for to announce our winners. It's around 20 startups which is getting this amount of the money.
Thank
2
you,
times
Katie.
a year.
Welcome. Thank you. So we hope that you will join us else, and thank you so much.
I will share too many information with you and hope it will be interesting. So thank you.
Nikolai?
Okay, a couple questions to the audience. What countries are you guys work with? I know that Artyom is working with UAE and Poland, maybe many more interesting countries, Pakistan, Thailand, Israel. Is it hard? Where is Sveta? So can you please share us about Israel culture, maybe some features?
I don't know, for me it seems like it's similar to Russian or American. I don't know, I didn't notice anything special, to be honest. It's like people tend to start conversation with you saying hi, how are you, which I still don't know what to answer to be honest. And they tend to be hardworking. I always notice for example, my team lead to stay up late, and sometimes I see him committing during the weekends, but no one forces you to do it. But yeah, they seem for me to be hardworking. And they love food very much. Always talking about food.
Currently, I'm working with Israel company, and yeah, you're right. No work-life balance at all. You can be on your own wedding and commit the code. You can commit the code at 1 a.m. Last year, I woke up under the because of a pager duty accident at 6 a.m. the 1st of January because somebody wanted to commit the code. So, my opinion, Israel guys want to be close to Americans, but they are kind of easier than Americans. They are simpler, I would say.
Yeah, they're simpler, yeah. But they worked on the 1st January. It's like whole country worked on the 1st of January, yeah. This was strange for me. And Russian part of the team was vacationing, and our team lead was left alone.
Great addition. Thank you. Any other countries?
Okay, let me solve this issue for you. Hi, how are you? Yeah, that's it. That's it. It just means hello. You don't. You don't. It's not actually an honest question. It's just a way of saying hello. In French, it's ça va, which is goes it, and it's kind of like, what?
You can answer.
Let's not talk about the history of that. But the fact is that no, it's just fine. Thank you. Unless they're a friend of yours and they say, how are you? Then you can answer honestly. Everyone else is just saying hello. That's it. That's it. That's all there is.
Спасибо, Том. Мастер-класс. Почему у нас та часть зала вообще не участвует в дискуссии? Может быть, кто-то хочет поделиться своим экспириенсом? Not now. And you? No? Тишина. Okay.
Hello. My name is Masa. I'm from Japan. Now
I love Japan. I'm a huge fan of Japan. I love this country.
Oh, thank you. Today, thank you very much for presentation. And I'm very interesting and like Germany culture is very close to Japan.
And I love it really in Japan. Every time we are there, it's very nice.
Yeah, I have a very close Germany friend, and we are talking like very similar focus in the like we are looking for the future. And maybe because of a car, Germany have a Mercedes and BMW, and we have a Toyota and Honda, Nissan. We have a like grow up country with development with car. We build car and our country development. And but the problem is working very hard. And for example, I was working bank. And I going to office 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Monday to Friday and Saturday sometimes.
Is it true that you have to leave after your boss? Is it true that you have to leave the office after your boss is gone?
Yeah.
Yes. So you have to wait for the manager, and when he's finished, you can go home?
Yes. It's like we are staying like office like our house.
And after it, you have to go to drink sake, right?
Yeah. It's the Friday, like we call the God Friday. Yes. And now I have this experience, and I quit from this culture. And now I'm working with a U.S. company. I'm working now blockchain company, and I'm not the IT person, but I'm here because I'm working blockchain company now, and the name Algorand, and our company making to NFT, and we want to try to make a financial revolution. And I'm looking for the people who can join to our project. And what we want to do, like we are making to token, and we want to make token economics. And we making to metaverse and games. And we are looking for the engineer who can make development to the games and the metaverse. And for this looking for, I'm here, and but it's suddenly like very interesting people around here, and I'm very happy.
Maybe you could share with us and with the IT community your job offer, so we could share it in our Telegram channels, for example.
Yeah, if you have any information to share across the IT community, just reach me out and we can discuss it. Actually, I have an idea. You can join us and we will have 3 chairs, America, Europe, Asia, and we can kind of walk through the list and just make some summary about...
Thank you for joining us.
Sveta, can you please
Insta
give the
photo?
microphone? Yeah,
I
microphone.
need to get microphone.
I have an idea. Let's just compare it. Let's make a comparison according to several points. First of all, as I remember the CV, I know that Germany has a photo, name, age, right? No?
Yeah.
Because in US, you should give a CV without photo, age, and maybe name, because of the strict rules to avoid ageism, nationalism, genderism, everything. You just need to show that you are a good engineer. What about Japan?
Okay.
About the engineer.
I mean, you want to be hired to work. You send the CV. What is the CV format?
What is the CV format? Photos, explanation of who you are. So I've just quickly told about US. Just write about your experience, make it very quick, informative, without name, photo, and let people see you in terms of your skills, not in terms of your person, nationality, etc. Can you please share some? You both can share some information about that.
I see. It's very close with Germany. Like we start from the which school you graduate, and like university also important. And after it's what's different is we need to analyze by yourself to what is your strongness and what is your weakness. Like, and this is like we watching to you understand by yourself well or not. And this part is very important to deeply to think about yourself and what you want to do, why you was born, and what you want to do for your future. Like this, a lot of questions you asking by yourself.
Yeah, and I wanted to add something about Germany. It depends on the field. If you are an IT specialist, who are really rare in Germany, and every company is looking for IT specialists, and yeah, they are okay with it if you don't share your photo, but it's necessary to share your personal information, because you are also sending, for example, the recommendation letters from your last company you were working in. And it's also sometimes common that some companies are calling them, so they're calling your last company and asking, so what would you say about this person? It was common maybe 10 years ago. Now it's not very popular, but you have to share your personal details. The photo is not so important, but it's better for you to have more chances to get this job.
Okay, thank you. That's why the reputation is, your reputation is very important.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but US companies can do the same. They can ask you recommendations. Another thing I want to compare is the interview process. In US, you have up to 5 stages, and it can happen during just one day. And first of all, you go through HR to check yourself by several items. After that, you go to a couple technical interviews with an engineer, with a manager, and the last stage is, especially in a big company, is a cultural fit. You will be asked a lot of questions: how you deal with this thing, what we will do if something happens. And it is the most important thing, because companies look at your behavior, at your psychology picture, and you can fail this job offer due to the cultural fit. It is very important. So what about Germany and Japan?
Would you like to start? Okay. So in Germany, the most important thing is your experience and how good you are actually. That's why it's necessary to send all your documents and certificates first with a CV, because the manager who is looking for a new applicant is checking your notes first. And if the notes are okay, so then you are punctual, friendly, and so on. So it's not true, but we have this kind of structure. And after it, it depends on where you are going to apply. If it's a big corporation, they also have a lot of different interview parts. Sometimes they are making crowd interviews. I don't know if it's common in USA or not, but they are inviting, for example, 100 applicants in one room, and they have to make tests, and after it they have to make some group tasks and so on. So in big corporates, everything is possible. But if you're applying at a startup, maybe you will come over for a coffee and that's it. So it depends on the company.
We in Japan, we have we asking a simple question, but we looking from this question to another side, to for example, what is your success story about your business, and after that is someone make some stories, but from interviewer, what we will see from this story. We think to what in this case situation, what he or she will do it, and how she or he can manage for this problem or issue or something to manage. And this one, we asking one question, but we watching to the other side.
It's close to cultural things.
Okay.
Next item. I don't remember what does it called. Social guarantees in the contract. I'm not very good in types of US contracts, but I heard that one of the options is a free will. You can leave the company any day you want, and the company can lay you off any day you want. It's kind of a permissions equality, so it's pretty often situation that the company takes 100 of people and says you are laid off after this meeting, right after this meeting, something like that. What about Germany and Japan?
In Germany, it's completely different. Human rights are the most important thing in Germany, so every company have to follow a lot of laws, and they're really strict. So if your employee is quitting during the trial period, you have 2 weeks, I think, to quit his job in advance, or sometimes 1 month. It depends on the length of this trial period. But after the trial period, it's almost impossible to quit some employee. You have to have a really strict reason for it. For example, if he was rude or stealing or something like that, of course it's criminal. It's not allowed to do in Germany, so you can quit them for the next day. But if it's only not really good work or something you can't really describe, or emotional differences, it's quite impossible. So in this case, if somebody is working not good enough, for example, you have to have free feedback meetings with this person, and only after this feedback meetings, which will be documented as well, you can cancel the contract. But it's really hard. It's really hard in Germany.
Yeah, in Japan also very similar to Germany. Like we checking from the credit. Like we have a special company for checking to the background of the people, and also like when especially I was working bank, and we are very strong checking from this stage. And also like when we make one time the contract, is very hard to make fired, and like so it's very close to Germany system and Japan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next item, the women's protection for baby born. As I know, let's avoid the details, but it's allowed just to take up to 3 months of vacation after baby born. And usually women go to the vacation the day before baby born because they need to work. After that, you have to take a babysitter. It is very expensive. You need to work a lot. And usually women come back to the work in 1-2 months because the culture is if you are absent at work during 3 months, that means company can work without you. So you are kind of replaceable person. That's why people need to go back to the work as soon as possible. What about Germany and Japan?
So in Germany, we have very strong maternity protection and human rights first. So that's why you can go in this maternity protection up to 6 months before birth. But if your doctor is saying, for example, you are in the 6th week of pregnancy and your doctor is saying stress is not good for you and will give you a doctor's certificate, you can leave your workplace and you will be paid. And your company is not allowed to replace you. This is very interesting. We're keeping your job, or maybe they could switch the department or maybe the field you're working in, But if you are, for example, a Java developer, you will come back as Java developer after up to 28 months, as I said before. So you can raise your baby and you can share it with your partner and come back with the same contract and same job.
Yes, in Japan also similar, like we can rest like 3 months for ready to born, and after that also to growing the children we can take rest. But mostly women can take this holiday, but the man is very difficult to make this holiday. But in the law we can take, but the reality very hard to take. If you take this, after that it's very hard to come back to the company. But it's the government to suggest to take more holiday for this one. And in this case, like we make the word for name ikumen. Ikumen is like its meaning is the guy very looking good for take care of the baby. And we making to this word to make a lot of propaganda. And then after that it's like little bit, but as I know, like still 10%, less than 10% people taking this holiday.
Thank you. My last item from my head about the vacation days. In US, as I heard, there is 2 weeks of vacation by default. The company can increase this amount to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on your time of working in the company. And usually people split the vacation very strictly and connect these days to some holidays to increase the vacation, to fly to, let's say, Caribbean islands and spend 3 days on the sand, etc. So what about Germany and Japan?
In Germany, we have a law that you have you have 24 days off. It's a minimum standard, but I had 30, for example. It depends on the company. The company can decide how many days they will offer. As I told you before, IT specialists are very rare in Germany. That's why a lot of IT companies are offering more days off. And yeah, so they are doing the same tricks. They are also trying to put the vacation days to the holidays. I think it's everywhere the same picture. And yeah.
Okay, what about Japan?
It's Japan also we protecting with law, but in reality is opposite. And for my case, I take 1 year, one time 9 days is the maximum holiday. And only 1 year, one time it's 9 days. And this is only we can travel to the other country.
I see. That's it from the list. Maybe you want to compare something, or you guys want to ask about one option and we can compare to each other. Anything? Come to us.
Thank you. First of all, now I'm not surprised when in Japan there is a word karoshi. Now I understand why. It means death because of a lot of work. Death because of a lot of work, karoshi. Karoshi. Yes. Yes, it's close to Russian word "хороший." It means good in Russia. And a question about interview process. Maybe in some countries it's normal to provide feedback for people who are going for interviews, and is it obligatory or maybe it's not?
Yeah, it's a very good question because the human resources manager has to learn a lot of words which are allowed to tell and which not, because we have this anti-discrimination law. It's very strict, human rights. So if you are, for example, giving the feedback via phone call and are saying, yeah, I don't know, something not really bad, but it could be discrimination, this person has a right to get this job.
Sure, but doesn't provide information which can help.
It's not allowed. It's very dangerous for the company. It's very, very dangerous for the company, because if you are saying, yeah, you should learn JavaScript a little bit more, for example, it's a discrimination, because how can we compare you with other persons? They are doing it, but it's not allowed to talk about.
It's about knowledge. It's
I
about
can
skin.
add something related to Canada. You say you are overqualified for this position. So it's very polite. You can judge for that because you are a good man, but you are very overqualified for that.
But actually, I think what we are all looking for going to interviews is information that will provide us information to improve.
Yeah, but the German law, for example, is always for human rights. So if you feel discriminated, it means for the company they have a judgment procedure, which costs a lot of money, really a lot of money. So that's why it's not possible for a company to share any information with you. All information you can get is we are very thankful for your application, we are sorry, but this job is not available anymore. That's all, unfortunately. I understand you, but it's yeah, a stupid law, I think. But human rights are on the positive side.
What about feedback in Japan?
Feedback.
After interview, for interviews, does company provide any information why he is not hired?
This is like Pandora box. Like some company make feedback, but in this case is very sensitive, like when the person become angry or something, like after that is the company have the risk of this feedback.
Does he have katana with him?
Yeah. And also like the maybe small company is think about this is a chance of the get the new client or a new fan or like new customer, but mostly company is as she say, like the big cost for making for one person to making feedback is and they not to mostly company not doing the feedback.
I would add something to Germany. We also looked for some junior developer, for example, and we think we did. We told them you can apply in the next year again. We would be very grateful for it, and if you wish, you could read with free books. We had free books which were very good for our field. So if you wish, you could read with free books. And yeah, you could understand it in this way. Yeah. But we are not allowed to say it like this.
So we had a fun and good discussion for today. I think it's really interesting. And what do you think, guys? It is useful for you? Maybe you will join ourselves?
It was cool.
Thank you so much. Nikolai, you want to continue on this or till the night?
No, that's it. I think everyone gets tired. We can have some rest, go to the bar. I just want to add that if it's interesting for you to kind of cross skills meetings which affects everyone in terms of some human situation, we will continue to do these meetings. We will have new agendas. One of the suggested agendas is how to reduce your stress after relocation, how to start the new life. Maybe it will be some psychological advice, maybe some historical stuff, how it was 100 years ago, how people dealt with it in the previous century, and what to do currently in the existing conditions, especially when it is so long and it is not ending. So
and we will compare it between this nowadays.
So this is one of the suggested topics for the next open mic, and welcome.
Thank you for all. Расходимся.